What's your legacy? Find out how to live a life that matters in this episode of 5 Minutes Closer. I'm Vaughn Weatherford, and this is 5 Minutes Closer. For the next 5 minutes, let's explore some biblical truths and apply them to your life. No podcast, including this one, can transform your life or give you what you really need. Only Jesus can do that. You can find out why in what I've called the first five episodes of 5 Minutes Closer. Each following episode explores scriptural truths that, if you follow them, will bring you 5 minutes closer to the person God created you to be. Let's see if we can get you 5 minutes closer. It is a question most of us ask sooner or later. What legacy am I going to leave? What will people remember about me? What difference will I make in the world? The truth is, we all have an impact, whether we realize it or not. That impact can be positive or negative, and it may spread further than we realize. That was certainly the case for the prophet Balaam. Balaam probably did not want his ministry remembered as one of the most harmful in the history of Israel. Yet, as his life comes to an inglorious end in Numbers chapter 31, his legacy certainly is not what he intended. Hundreds of years later, John would record the words of the angel to the New Testament church of Pergamum, in which he remembers the legacy of Balaam. It's found in Revelation chapter 2, verse 14. There the Bible says, "But I have a few things against you. You have some there who hold to the teaching of Balaam, who taught Balak to put a stumbling block before the sons of Israel, so that they might eat food sacrificed to idols and practice sexual immorality." I'm guessing that's not what Balaam planned for the people to remember about his life. He would have significantly benefited had he asked himself the question, what legacy will I leave? According to Numbers 31, verse 16, Balaam convinced the people of Israel to join the people of Moab in the worship of the false god Baal. The people followed the popular prophet's advice and joined in this pagan worship, which included horrific temple prostitution and fertility rites. Under Balaam's leadership, the people of Israel went from God's blessings to his judgment. Many would die in what became known as the Plague of Peor in Numbers chapter 25, verse 18. Balaam didn't curse the people, but through his popular but misguided leadership, he succeeded in getting the people to curse themselves. He made the mistake of placing popularity and fame above all else. Balaam wanted fame and fortune, but wound up with nothing. Instead of worrying about being a leader, he should have paid more attention to where he was leading the people. We need to do the same. In our rush for what we want, we sometimes lose sight of where it is we're rushing. If we took a good look at our destination, we might make a quick U-turn. Instead of wondering who will remember us, we should ask ourselves what they will remember. It seems so much easier to listen to Balaam and the priests of Moab. Following God requires faith. Following the fertility cults of Moab just required hormones. Baal worship was a very simple religion, essentially based on the seasons of the year. At the end of every winter, the people observed fertility rites, and lo and behold, here came the spring. Somehow the people never realized the spring would have come anyway. That's the way God created the world. Worshipping Baal seemed to work, so they kept worshiping Baal. Following the true God requires faith. Faith that God would lead them into the promised land, and faith that God would prepare the way. As the New Testament describes it in Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, faith is being sure of what we hope for and certain of what we do not see. How will you be remembered? Will your friends and family remember you as a person of faith or as someone who followed the ebb and flow of societal desires? Decide today to leave a legacy of faith, because now you're 5 minutes closer. My prayer is that these 5 minutes have challenged you, inspired you, and caused you to consider applying God's message for your life from His Word. To find out more, visit our website at 5minutescloser.com. Join me next time to see if we can get you 5 minutes closer.